everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have something a little bit more of a cozy type game. It's been a while since I did like a list of nice little cozy games to play that aren't all new. So since the weather is starting to change outside, we're getting into your fall season, a little bit of Halloween decor starting to come out, it is time to do a little list of some good cozy games to play during the fall. So these are like a little mix of like cozy, spooky. So when I say like spooky, I don't mean like full blown horror, like jump scares and things like that. Just things that have like a nice little eerie vibe, just something that matches the weather that we're coming into. Let's take a look into some of the games that we're going to be talking about. Let's start with the game that's practically dripping in golden hour autumn vibes, Firewatch. You play as Henry, who is a man escaping personal grief by taking a summer job at a fire lookout on the national forest. And it's set in the late 1980s. No smartphones, no internet, just you, your tower, and your little walkie-talkie connecting you to Delilah, who's your supervisor who becomes your only human connection. Firewatch is absolutely stunning. The art style uses warm, saturated colors, deep oranges, soft purples, and a little bit of like dusky reds that makes every frame feel like a painting. Whether you're hiking under a salmon-colored sunset or watching fog roll over the hills, it's all incredibly immersive and peaceful. It's like being wrapped in a flannel blanket. But beneath all that beauty, something's off. You start noticing strange things. A locked fence in the middle of nowhere, a clipboard left behind with transcripts of your conversations. The feeling that someone is watching you, but never being able to catch them. There are no jump scares, just the slow, creeping tensions of isolation, secrets, and the unknown. It places with the fear of being alone in the wild, not with monsters, but with unanswered questions. Next, we have This Night in the Woods. You play as May, who's a college dropout who returns to her hometown. It's a place full of quirky neighbors, rusted-out buildings, and sleepy street lined with red-orange leaves. From the moment you step into this world, it feels just like October, but there's this underlying tension that slowly builds. You start seeing shadowy figures, you overhear cryptic conversations, and there's this unsettling sense that something is happening just beneath the surface. Now let's step into the world that feels like an old fairy tale, twisted just enough to give you the chills, and this is called Wytchwood. You play as a mysterious old witch who wakes up in the hut deep in the woods, surrounded by bubbling cauldrons, gourd goats, and potion ingredients with names like impatient spores or snaggletooth seed. Every area feels like it's plucked out of a gothic fable, crick cottages, foggy swamps, eerie graveyards, all crawling with strange creatures and questionable villagers. In the gameplay, you spend most of your time gathering ingredients, brewing spells, and solving problems, though often in a darkly funny way, like turning a dishonest farmer into a frog, or binding a greedy noble soul to a cursed mirror. It's a perfect game for curling up on a rainy day, especially if you ever want to play the witch in the woods instead of the hero. It's a little bit cozy, a little bit creepy, but it's totally charming. Strange Horticulture might be one of the most quietly eerie games that's been played or made, but like in the best way possible. And you run a little plant shop in the rainy, mist-soaked Victorian town. It's kind of the place where everyone wears long coats, mysterious letters arrive by crow, and the rain never stops tapping on the window. And that's exactly what makes it cozy. This calm, moody, candlelit space where your main job is to identify plants and brew remedies for your strange assortment of customers. But the twist is, the plants aren't just herbs and flowers. Some of them can heal, others can be hallucinations. A few might just be cursed. You have a big dusty reference book with hand-drawn sketches and cryptic descriptions, and your job is to match the right plant to the right request. At first, it feels like a relaxing puzzle game, but as you start helping more people, you're pulled deeper into a supernatural mystery involving cults, omens, and ancient forest spirits. You're not just a shopkeeper, you're an unwilling participant in something much bigger. And what's brilliant is how the game balances cozy and creepy so perfectly. There's no combat, no chase scenes, just page turning, tea brewing, rain falling. If you love games that feel like reading a dark book by candlelight, Strange Horticulture is an absolute gem for fall. It's slow, subtle, and deeply satisfying. Okay, so Pink Pines is one of those games that looks super sweet and charming until it suddenly isn't. That's exactly why it fits perfectly on this cozy, spooky list. At first glance, it gives like a reading, beautifully illustrated children's book. He plays Luca, a young deer-like kid living in a small town full of animal characters and gentle narration, but very quickly cracks start to show. There's something strange going on in town. people are disappearing, an abandoned warehouse has lights flickering inside, and your mom, she's been missing for months. So Luca and his friends start poking around, and the mystery that unfolds is way darker than you expect from something that looks this cute. Think of it like Stranger Things meets a bedtime story, with just enough darkness to keep you guessing. It's been one of those games you want to finish in the 1 to 2 candlelight sitting. Now for something a little lighter, but still full of magical autumn energy. We're going to talk about this game called The Spirit and the Mouse. You play as Lila, a tiny mouse who lives in a quiet little French village. One stormy night you get struck by a bolt of lightning, and instead of becoming toast, you gain the ability to interact with electric spirits. From there, you're suddenly caught up in this gentle mission to help the townspeople by solving small electrical problems and spreading a little bit of kindness. The game is just pure cozy vibes. You're scurrying through cobblestone streets, climbing rooftops, ducking under market stalls. Everything feels peaceful, a little rainy, and full of charm. And because you're a mouse, the world feels big and detailed in a way that's really fun to explore. There's something about seeing a lamppost or a power box from a mouse perspective that's just so satisfying. But even though there's no real danger or scary moments, there's still a gentle, spooky undertone running through it. The killings you work with are mischievous little spirits, and the atmosphere has that quiet, slightly mysterious energy of a town where something magical might be happening just out of sight. It's not intense or creepy, but it's perfect for a cozy fall night, especially if you want something sweet with just a hint of a ghostly sparkle. The Midnight Walk is still new, and honestly feels like you're stepping into a stop-motion Halloween short film. The entire world looks handcrafted, claymation-style characters, paper textures, flickering shadows. It's gorgeous, weird, and completely mesmerizing. You got a small companion holding a glowing flame as they walk through eerie dreamlike landscapes. The walk is slow, intentional, and while you're never outright attacked or chased, the darkness does feel alive. Strange shapes move just outside the light. You catch glimpses of things that vanish when you turn. There's this constant feeling that you're not alone, but also that maybe you're meant to be here. What's beautiful about this is how it captures a very specific childhood feeling, like when you had to walk down a dark hallway with a flashlight or run upstairs after turning the lights off. The soundtrack is soft, almost like a lullaby, and there's very little dialogue. It's a kind of game that tells a story through atmosphere and feeling rather than through words, and it also lingers you in. For someone who loves Halloween but doesn't want gore or jump scares, just that quiet haunting magic, this game will be the perfect game that you'll want to play. Okay, now let's talk about Little Nightmares 3. This one might be one of the more darker games on this list, but still fits the cozy, spooky vibe. If you're the kind of person who finds rainy nights and creepy fairy tales oddly comforting, that is. This series has always been about the atmosphere. It drops into these surreal, dreamlike environments where everything feels just a little too big, a little too wrong, like you shrunk down and ended up inside someone's nightmare. And Little Nightmares 3 is turning that up even more, with its new twisted settings like an abandoned carnival in a decaying desert town. The biggest change this time around is that it's fully co-op. You and a friend can explore the world together, helping each other solve puzzles, escape from strange creatures, and survive whatever horrors the environment throws at you. That teamwork adds a bit of warmth to the game. It's like having someone to hold hands with when you're going through the haunted house. Here is emotional. It's in the sound design, the way the camera lingers, the pacing and chase scenes where you almost get caught. It's spooky in the way childhood fears are spooky. Shadowy monsters under the bed, dolls that move when you're not looking. If you play the first 2 games, you know how masterful the visual storytelling really is. And if you haven't, don't worry. Little Nightmares 3 is a great place to jump in. Now it's time for something a little different, but still perfect for Halloween. This game is called Mina The Hollower. This is an upcoming game from the creator Shovel Knight, and it's basically a love letter to classic Game Boy Color titles, but with a gothic twist. Play as Mina, a whip-wielding mouse who dives underground to uncover dark secrets and spooky dungeons. Right away, the retro pixel art jumps out at you. It's deep purples, greens, and candlelit shadows. The gameplay is fast and fluid. Mina can whip enemies, dodge around with quick dashes, and dig on the ground like a little haunted rocky mole. The action is tight but not punishing, and the world is packed with creepy creatures, skeletal birds, haunted catacombs, blood-red lakes. You'll explore the crypts, fight bosses, and uncover the lore that feels straight out of a Dusty's Monsters manual. But here's why it's perfect for this new vibe. It got that perfect mix of spooky atmosphere and fun adventure. It's not scary, it's festive. Like going trick-or-treating in a graveyard armed with a whip and a lantern. And the cherry on top is that it's dropping right on Halloween. So if you want something to play that night that feels both nostalgic and brand new, Mina The Hollower should be definitely at the top of your list to play. And last but not least, let's talk about the game that I'm actually the most excited for personally. This game is called There Are No Ghosts at the Grand. This one takes place in a grand old hotel that you're helping renovate. It's got huge chandeliers, velvet curtains, creaky floors, and decades of history packed into every corner. By day, you're fixing up rooms, moving furniture, picking wallpapers, basically doing your best cozy interior designer cosplay. But at night, things change. Spirits begin to stir, strange noises echo down empty halls, guests that aren't on the book start showing up, and you're suddenly balancing hospitality with ghostly housekeeping. The gameplay is part life sim, part supernatural management. You build relationships with the townsfolk, decorate the hotel, and figure out what each ghost needs in order to move on. Some just want to be heard, others need closure, and some have a few unfinished business that's a little bit more complicated. What makes this game special is how it feels with the spooky elements. The ghosts aren't here to terrorize, they're woven into the fabric of the story. It's like Animal Crossing met a gentle ghost story, the kind where the lights flicker and the air goes cold, but you're still sipping tea and rearranging furniture. If you're looking for something totally unique this fall, cozy, mysterious, and full of ghostly charm, keep your eye on this game. This is called There Are No Ghosts at the Grand, because maybe there are some. So there we have it. What games on this list are you excited about? Are there any games on this that I did not talk about that you are excited to play? Even if it is new, even if it's something that you want to bring back? What game that is, let me know down in the comment section below. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.